saw you on the bus to your hometown, back to the place when I told you I loved you for the first time. I knew it when we met, that you were different. And as we sat and drank tea, you were with me. Would you listen to the songs I'm writing about you? I've been crying all day and every night for your touch.
Interested in what you're hearing? Well, I'm glad you were. That is Touch by Shaun Finn. And he'll be my guest on Keep It Zen. I was going to say Dose of the Bait, but what this is I'm basically fusing the two because I feel like this is just producing better results. I hope you all enjoy because I had a blast recording this. Shaun is a really great guy and he was a great guest. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoy. Sorry for the late upload. It was a bit of a few issues, but he will have an exclusive to his next song coming out soon. Yeah, I really hope you all enjoy. Check Shaun out, check the podcast out, it'll be great. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Dose of the Bait on the Keep It Zen podcast. I'm here with the one and only Shaun Finn, musician, and also, what's your title in the college? Is it?
President of the Student Union would be like the official title.
Yeah. President of the Student Union,
yeah.
Musician, and overall cool guy.
Comfort eater.
Did you say Vegeta?
No, I said comfort eater.
Oh, comfort eater, aren't we all?
Yeah. So, what else is there to do in these strange old times?
Probably make a podcast.
Make a podcast. And write songs.
Yeah.
Play a podcast. I've written like 3 songs since this whole thing started.
And I've produced things.
Secret projects that we're not going to talk about.
Oh no, we'll talk about them. They're just not good.
Okay. I have a good teaser for later, but okay.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I was on about my own things. Oh no, your stuff's good. So yeah, we're doing it a little bit different. We don't have an entire debate topic, but we're going over multiple smaller hot takes. Shaun has a series of hot takes that he wants to get out there, and we're gonna discuss them. Or it could be me with the hot takes and he's the normal opinion. We don't know yet. Alright, do you want to start us off?
We'll start off with music.
Alright, cool.
I'm a musician, so that's kind of probably the best way to go down. I should have probably thought this through before I came on.
Yeah, no, I thought you had one in mind.
Well, no, do you play any instruments?
I own a guitar. I can play the first few seconds of Despacito.
That's a good thing, though. This is like for people who in quarantine, like, you know, that'd be like a thing if you have a guitar lying around or if you have any sort of instrument lying around. Like, I've been trying to improve my piano skills with my keyboard that's beside me, but that's the piano.
Yeah, I just got a drawing tablet in today, so I'll be able to do a lot of digital drawing. Probably not going to be doing much though, because this is my main focus.
I did that in Leaving Cert as well, and I failed it. So that was the only thing I failed. I'll tell you why I failed though. Like, I didn't submit my project right, and I'll tell you why. I went and met Noel Gallagher the day I was supposed to submit my project.
You know, I'd rather meet Noel Gallagher.
To be fair, right, it's 3 years later, and I don't regret not submitting my project on time. I more fancy meeting Noel Gallagher. I've 5 signed albums and I've followed with him. So
yeah, no, that's just the better deal. Like, I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get in early for art because the teacher was the dirty little cheater who didn't want to follow the rules of staying in the time limit. So, which I needed.
I remember I done art for all my 6 years in school. Like I done TY as well. And in first and third year, I had a teacher. His name was Mr. Casey. He's lovely, lovely, lovely guy. And it was very small. There was only 12 people in it. There was 10 girls, 2 lads, and the lad was he was a gay lad, right? And my art teacher was a real lad, like, you know.
Yeah.
And the class was all like real girly girls, and then like, you know, the gay lad was real good, like you know, with the girls, like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but like, them, and like, you know, my art teacher, he was just one of those guys that like you'd never look at and go, you're an art teacher. Like he was just like oh, like his sister. I think he said to me his sister was like, he showed him how to get into it like 6 years before he started teaching. Then he just went to college for it and got a master's or whatever. I'm not sure if that's entirely true if he ever manages to listen to this, but from what I can remember 2 years ago, that was the last time.
Come on and say.
Yeah, and then like, you know, and he had a guitar in his room, and like he was really into the football. So all the time he'd come over to me and be like, "Do you watch the football the weekend?" And me and him would sit there and talk about football for the whole art class. And I'd just be like, so I'm just looking at this bit of shade in here. He'd be like, give it to me there, son. And he'd do the whole drawing for me, and we'd just sit there and talk about football. Like, do you know what I mean?
You know, at that point, why not? Just why not?
Yeah. There's only 2 art teachers in my school. It was him and this other art teacher called Miss Moylan, who was absolutely lovely as well, but she was the opposite. She was real, like, you know, like, I'm not touching any of your work, you do it all. She was a great teacher, like, you know, but I was really bad at art, so I needed help. And I was like, art, up a guard, like, sure, I'll get Mr. Casey again, and I think you get Mr. Casey. And I was doomed from the start. I was
well,
like, I just walked
class
like
as well. I don't know how I managed. I got no 3 in art, but the thing is, I didn't have a teacher for most of the year because we only had 1 art teacher in the school, and she had this weird hobby where she really liked pumping out babies. Like,
oh yeah, we had. I think every school has at least 2 of those.
Yeah.
At least 2 teachers that are like gone every second year on maternity leave. Like,
no, it was like every year for over half the year. I think she's 4 kids now.
Hobby, it's like, oh yeah, she just enjoys having the babies, like, you know, she just enjoys the pleasure.
Yeah, the pain. I don't know, man.
Whoa. Look, I love school though.
I didn't.
Absolutely
Didn't enjoy school at all.
I really, the only thing I didn't like about school was like the homework, like, you know.
I just didn't do the homework.
Yeah, well, like, I'm not saying I did, I'm just saying I didn't enjoy it when I did do it. I didn't enjoy it that much.
It got to the point where the teacher just gave up trying to get it off me because I wouldn't give it to them.
I remember I had a teacher for English I had a fantastic English teacher from 1st to 3rd year, and then TY, like, TY is just a big mess. It's just a big piss take.
It just does be like that sometimes.
It was one of the best I've ever had. Like, TY was the year I learned how to play guitar. It was when I got into a lot of the bands that I'm into now. So, like, in a way, TY kind of made me who I am now. You know, I was really shy in 1st to 3rd year, and I got bullied a little bit. So,
yeah, I can.
You know,
I can relate very well to that.
Yeah.
I didn't do transition year though.
Yes.
I'm surprised. Did you have the option to skip?
Yeah.
Oh, because like.
It was paid to do TY in my school. Like, you know, it was. Like, you know, it was. It wasn't. You didn't have to do it. Like, you know, I wanted to do it. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I was under the mindset of, oh, I want to get out of here as fast as possible, which turned out to be one of the greatest decisions I've ever made because I got out last year. If I did transition year, I'd still be in school now, doing the leaving during this whole pandemic.
The thing is, you say that you'd be getting 100% in your orals already.
Well, but I went for a level 5 art course where I just needed 5 passes, and Irish wasn't one of them.
Shut up. Listen, there's a girl in my college, in my course, called Lucy, who's extremely talented. Everybody should be looking her up. Her name's Lucy Blue. She's got some stuff on Spotify. She's really talented.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, you should. She's absolutely fab. She done a cover of I forget what song she put up on her Instagram. I was just like in awe. Like, she's just great, and like she showed me a lot of her unreleased stuff, and she really is a fantastic performer. She's only like just gone 18. Like she was 17 when she joined the college, and like she just didn't do 6 year. She was, and like all her mates were doing mock. She just said, "Oh, I didn't need to go. I didn't need it for this college." So she just came straight away, and I was like, "I applaud that so much." She just said, "Nah, I'm not doing the leave," and then came straight to college. You know, I applaud that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty impressive. I'm guessing she did transition here then, because I was also 17 coming into the college.
I don't think she did. I couldn't tell you. I don't want to put words in her mouth. But I don't think she. I never heard her kind of. You know.
All right.
Plus,
so
yeah,
time for the actual dose of debate. Oh no, it's fine. No, conversation's great. At least it's not dead silence. This is so much better. So, what is your first music hot take? Did you have in mind, or?
Right. So this is one everybody who knows me is going to be like, oh, of course he'd say that. But it's an opinion I think is really valid, and I've had a lot of people in the industries really agree with me on this, that I think the Coronas are Ireland's best current band. Right?
Okay.
A lot of people
will regarding that, I have two questions. Because if I'm wrong in either one, I'm going to sound very stupid. One, is the script Irish?
Yes.
Yeah, and are they still going?
They played the 3 minute like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay, well,
they're amazing as well, though.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like a give and take, because the Coronas, I feel like, put out more consistent quality music. But when the script has a banger, they have a proper banger.
Yeah, the thing is, they got so much success off that first album and that feature with Will.i.am.
Yeah.
They're selling the arenas across the world. Like I'm not saying the Script are a bad band. Oh, they're definitely not. They're fantastic. Have you ever seen the Script live?
And I've never been to a concert before.
Well, like I'm not. I wouldn't call myself a fan of the Script. Like I like a lot of their early stuff. I wasn't so mad on their last 2 albums. I really didn't. Like a lot of my friends really liked them. I said, "Oh, like yeah, I'll go and see them live." Like, but there's no reason not to go see them live. And they were absolutely phenomenal live. Like they're one of the top 5 bands I've ever seen live. They're amazing live. Like they're just so welcoming. Danny is a fantastic host. Danny O'Donoghue is a really great host. And even the songs that I actually didn't like from their 2 newer, I thought it was, it wasn't their last album. It was their album before that. It was the one with Rain on it. You know that song, Rain.
Yeah.
I really didn't like that song. I just thought it was really poppy, and I just thought it was a real, like, unscripted song, because the early script stuff was so deep and so hard hitting, and I was like, that's real, like, poppy, and like, I know it just doesn't have any feeling. But when I seen it live, I was like, oh my god, this is actually brilliant. Like it really opened my eyes to how good the song actually is.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like that's a great way to tell the quality of a song, is by seeing it live. Not necessarily in person, if you can't like afford to go to a concert, or you weren't old enough until now. I'm just saying my excuses now. But if it sounds good live, but not on a studio, like, it's most of the time it's intended that way. Like I know Tyler the Creator has a few songs where he's like he has songs for the album, but he also has songs that he really wants to perform on stage, like Yonkers. I think that one was made for the stage.
The thing is, like, there's 2 ways of judging how good the song is: the actual studio recording and like how a band performs live and that. But another factor is how well can it be done by just the songwriter and the instrument they wrote it on. It's a big factor, because like if you take a lot of greatest songs of all time, like Stairway to Heaven and Hey Jude, and like, you know, even like Live Forever or something like that, you just look at some stripped back acoustic versions of those songs, they're like, they need to still be able to take your breath away, like, you know. I think that's what kind of makes some of them best songs as well. Even Everlong with Foo Fighters is an amazing acoustic song as well, like, you know. And Layla by Eric Clapton's another fantastic example of that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, considering what you were saying about the script, I've been having this opinion with my friend Dylan for a while, and we have contrasting opinions on this, and I just want to get your take. It is music related, but it's not band related. You know Bruno Mars, right? Do you listen to any of his music at all?
I haven't listened to any of his recent stuff, but I liked him when he blew up. Like, you know, last like bit of music I listened to from Bruno Mars would have been around like the Uptown Funk, Mark Robinson era. You know, like I haven't given him a proper listen since then. Like I could like I like him. Like he makes good music. He makes good music.
That's the point exactly where I wanted the contrast to be. You know, his earlier music, like Grenade, versus Uptown Funk. Like, what kind of Bruno Mars do you like more? Because I really like the funky Uptown Funk kind of Bruno Mars, and I just don't like, because when Bruno Mars gets sappy, he gets unlistenably sappy. At least
I agree with that. I do like his funkier stuff. Like I do like a bit of funk, like, you know.
Yeah.
His early ballads, like, they are fantastic and they're timeless songs, especially for like the likes of Me and You, because like them songs were there when we were like 11, 12, and like they were always on the radio. It's like one of them songs you hear out of nowhere, and it just takes you back to that time.
Yeah.
You know, where that reason it kind of brings you back to that. You know, but as songs, like I'd say it is newer stuff, like, you know, like Uptown Funk, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, for my taste, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased though, because I just like really like funk, and anyways, like one of my favorite bands of all time is Earth, Wind and Fire, with the lead singer Maurice White.
They're fantastic. I haven't listened to them properly in years.
I know. I did my history project on Maurice White.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was my highest grade as well. I got an 02, and I didn't answer one of the questions on the exam, so I know I got full marks on that.
I've done the history of rock and roll. I've done history as well. I've done the history of rock and roll. I've done like blues music. I think I've done it from like the 30s or 40s up to like 2005. Like kind of around White Stripes era was when and like early Arctic Monkeys was when I kind of off. You know, I took it from like the blues up to the Elvis era, and then like, you know, the psychedelic Beatles stuff, and then the Stones, and then you got like Black Sabbath coming in with heavy metal, and then the likes of Iron Maiden and Motorhead coming into the scene and that sort of stuff, and really just like revolutionising music. Like, you know, I think the 70s was the most important time for music.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Music from the 70s is just fantastic.
Oh, I know. I have like a playlist just full of music around 70s, 80s and stuff. Like, in my opinion, AC/DC is the best band of all time. I know that's...
They're definitely up there, yeah. I'd put them in the top 10, alright, yeah.
Then who would you say is the best of all time?
Gotta be the Beatles.
Like, I understand how influential they are, but
Beatles,
every time I try and listen to them, I just can't get into it. Like, there's something about it that's just repulsive to me. It's not like... Sorry, repulsive is too strong.
I listened to the psychedelic Beatles stuff, and I was kind of like, what's going on? Like, you know, it kind of took me one or two listens to it took me about 2 or 3 listens to kind of start to really enjoy it, you know. But I just found it fascinating more than that, and especially, like, I remember the first time listening to Sgt. Pepper's, and Abbey Road really hit me the most. Abbey Road's one of my favourite albums, and I can just remember, especially the song The End, which is the final song on the album, which has a solo from every member of the band, and that's why it's the final track. So there's a drum solo in it. Okay, do you know what song I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It's great. It just shows off the fantastic musicianship skills of every member of the Beatles. Like, you know, there's a solo for Lennon in there, Harrison has a solo, there's a bass solo for McCartney, and then Ringo gets his drum solo. And it's one of my favourite Beatles songs. I love I Am the Walrus as well. People like some people it's one of them songs, like, it's a song called Dixie's Diner, and it's one of them songs, it's so obnoxiously like funny that it's actually really good. Like, that's the way I kind of see it. Like, you know, I think it's just such a funny music. It's really, really good.
Yeah, you know? I can understand where you're coming from with that.
But I really love the Beatles. I'd put like the Beatles, Led Zeppelin, who else? Nirvana's got Guns N' Roses, AC/DC are in there. I'd put Oasis like down kind of like, you know, around the 9-10 mark. Personally, I'm a massive Oasis fan.
Yeah.
Right now, I wouldn't be putting them in the top 5 because there is much better bands that I'm not a bigger fan of. But I'd put Foo Fighters, and I'd probably put Foo Fighters right behind Oasis as well for one of the best bands of all time. Dave Grohl gets to be in two of the best bands of all time. He's a lucky guy.
Is he lucky, or is he just that damn talented?
He's that damn talented. He's a hard worker. I was up till 6 in the morning watching Dave Grohl compilation videos and TikToks, and he's just the best, isn't he?
Yeah.
I always love Dave Grohl. Like,
soldier.
I went to see the Foo Fighters in the RDS last summer, and it was the best Like I go to concerts. I barely go 2 weeks without going to a gig of some sort. And Foo Fighters just blew my mind. Like I only got my ticket a week before the gig as well. Like I tried to get. I wasn't actually massively into them when the tickets went on sale. Like I'd listened to them once or twice when I was a lot younger. Like when I was just starting to get into Oasis. I just don't think I got it. And then one of the guys in my college last year played Me Everlong, and I'd heard the song before, but then I listened to the acoustic version of it, and I just loved the acoustic version. And then I got really into Monkey Wrench, and then I just started listening to all their albums, and I loved their last album, Concrete and Gold. I think it's fantastic. And then I was just like, I just need to go. But like that was around February, and the tickets for this went on sale in like November or something. And I was in standing 2. And my mate got us the tickets, and he finished work at 6:30, and doors opened at 6:30, so we were right at the back. But they were still, they just blew my mind. Like, they were absolutely amazing. Dave Grohl's, like, it's just true what they say, he's a fantastic host. Like, I'd watched tons of videos of the performing the majority of the songs in the set list live, but, like, it still just blew me away. What a fantastic live band they are. Like, they're amazing.
I have to ask this because, just based on the comment that you said you go to one like every 2 weeks or so. Do you go for the band, or do you go for the sake of going to obviously you wouldn't go to somewhere you don't like, but do you go to concerts because you want to support the band, or you want to experience that concert feel? Because it's like such a different way to listen to music. It's a bit of both. Like I always try and go and see smaller bands. Like if any of my mates are starting bands, or if, like I know of a local band. Like there's a really great band in our college at the moment called Emily 7. Have you heard? Funny enough, right? I'm after texting Jamie, and he's coming on the podcast tomorrow. The episode will be going on Friday.
Cool. Jamie's a really cool guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Jamie's really, really, really nice, and Scott, their drummer, is an absolute dude. He's a really nice guy, and Kyle's pretty nice as well. I've met them all. Kyle's really cool, but I see Jamie and Scott a lot more because they're both on the union with me. Yeah. So I'd see a week or two, and they're both Scott is an absolute dude. He's just really, really cool, and Jamie's a really, really nice guy as well.
I was listening to
work with them in the future. They're absolutely fantastic.
I was listening to their EP, and I can't remember the name of the song, but there was one song that really stuck out as proper decent to me. I'm really shit when it comes to names.
Won't you stay?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. It's a really good live. They're a lot better live.
Yeah, I got that vibe from the thing.
They played a gig there in January, and I went up to see them, and they were brilliant. They were really good. It was the first time I seen them live.
It wouldn't surprise me, right, if eventually at some point they'd be in the soundtrack of a Tony Hawk remake. That's the kind of vibe they give off.
Yeah,
the music.
It's good punk music, it is. It really is.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Show me some of their new stuff as well. It's really, really good. There's a lot. They're a band I'd keep my eye on. If there's anybody looking for a good small band to get into, not small, they've got a bit of a following.
Yeah, they're small enough, but
they're open coming is probably the best way to describe. They're really, really, really good.
They're big enough where they're reputable, I guess. They're official, but they're small enough that someone from there is willing to come on this podcast.
Yeah, that's their manager.
Yeah, their manager of all people, who has the biggest following.
Yeah, I'm sure get the lads on that bother,
Yeah, no, I'd love to, because they're so sound. And
Scott's an absolute dude. I must say, I've only met Kyle 2 or 3 times myself at the gig. When I was doing photography for the gig, but they done Wheels. It was a charity thing, and they were on the bill, and I was doing the photography for it. And I bumped into him on Collins Street. I met him somewhere else as well. But I remember, I heard about them years ago. I remember, we have a mutual friend, and she was the one who set me up to do the photos. I felt really bad about because I have a photography page called Film Photography. It's just for me going to concerts because I don't want to like parade my music account, stories of me at concerts and photos and like, oh my god, this is such an amazing concert. So I just made a separate account for it. And
yeah, I don't blame you, to be honest.
Don't follow that the Coronas follow it. I think that's a really cool thing.
The Coronas follow it. Oh, that's so
I think
cool.
it's there. You know what pisses me off though, right? Because on Twitter they follow all their fans. Like they follow like all like the big fans like me who like queue outside their gigs and all. They don't follow me on that, but they don't follow anybody on Instagram. They don't follow any of them. I'm just it's one of them things where I'm really
you just provide good content, man. They don't see you as a fan, they see you as a content creator.
I was chatting to that
step above.
He was like, I was actually nosing through your profile on the Coronas page. I was like, I actually really loved your photos from Jerry and Liam. And me and him were both at, we didn't go to this gig together, but we were both at Liam Gallagher in Cork there last year. Because I went down to Cork to see the Coronas, and Liam Gallagher was playing the next day. So I was like, fuck this, I'm going to Cork for the weekend. And like, that was a great weekend because the Coronas bill was brilliant. They had True Tides, they were a good band. All Fines, which are really, really, really good if you listen to them.
What?
They're a band called All Fines.
No, I haven't heard of them before now.
They're really, really good. They're two brothers. Hudson Taylor, who are fantastic. Like, you know, I really, really enjoy them. And Gavin James was the headline support. Next day, Liam was playing, Jerry Cinnamon was supporting them. So like I had a weekend of some like of all my favourite bands that were, you know, Irish, and then Liam being like one of my favourite artists, and then Jerry Cinnamon was the first time I'd seen him live, and he was absolutely fantastic. Have you ever seen him
live? No, I've never seen anyone live. Wait, no, hold on. I've seen recordings live. That was a stupid thing to say, but no, I haven't.
Have you checked out Jerry Cinnamon?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What?
Checked out Jerry Cinnamon.
Jerry's
really good. The Scottish fella, songwriter. Like it's just him and the acoustic guitar, but he's fantastic. Like he's unbelievable. I see him like once. He played the 3-wheeler there, and he was absolutely deadly. I actually have the set list from that on my wall.
Probably post that up sometime, eh?
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I'm not very. Look, I'm into music, but I don't know much about it. Like I'm constantly trying to find more people to listen to and trying to like scope out. Like a lot of newer stuff, I'm still trying to figure out. Like I've only started listening to the Script and Coronas recently.
The Coronas new stuff is great. They've got a new track coming out called LA at Night, and it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my life.
What, you hear a snippet or something? Or?
Yeah, I heard it in December, and they played it at one of the like rehearsal shows they were doing, and beautiful. And they just put only 2 days ago there. They put a video of it on Instagram because they got the test pressing of their vinyl. So like, you know, they went back to it and they just posted that on the vinyl by itself. So check out, it's absolutely gorgeous. They're going for like a new sound with this new album because Dave left the band. We were really upset when Dave left, but you know, he's happy now.
Change-ups can most of the time be healthy. Like the lead singer from AC, like I said, I'm terrible with names, so I can't remember his name. But when they changed the lead singer for AC/DC and they came back with Thunderstruck being one of their biggest songs ever, I feel like people would agree that maybe he wasn't better than the original singer, but the quality was so fresh that they didn't mind, and it was more enjoyable, if you get me. Because if you have the same singer or just the same way of making music, like that's why they've fallen off since, because they kept making too similar music. Obviously do what works.
The thing is, like, you're talking about Brian Johnson there, who was kind of like in there for like the golden era of AC/DC. Like, you know, he was Bon Scott was the previous one, and he passed away.
Yeah.
So you know, like, you know, Brian Johnson was that. Like, that was the Back in Black album, basically. Like, you know, and you know, my personal favorite AC/DC song is "You Shook Me All Night Long." I think that's just banger.
Mine's
I love it.
Dirty
Back in Black album.
Dirt Cheap.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, that was
really good.
A banger.
Yeah, the Bon Scott stuff, like, I don't think they wouldn't be in top. Like, I think no, just Brian Johnson's vocal is just iconic. Like, you know, it's just his own thing. Like, even watching live videos, it's just it's like nothing I've ever heard. Like, it's like listening to Liam Gallagher as well. It's like, it's just like he just started that.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know, that kind of style of doing it. Like, you know, I've not seen anybody execute it as well. Like, I've seen a couple of bands do Liam's kind of thing. Like, DMAs are an Australian band from Sydney, and the lead fella Tom from them is fantastic. Like, if anybody here listens to this likes Oasis and like that kind of Britpop era music, like The Verve and Pulp and that sort of stuff, DMAs are a current band, and they're actually playing in the Academy in Dublin. I've got tickets to go and see them, but that's probably going to get rescheduled. But they're playing 2 days in the Academy.
everything is gonna get
Yeah,
rescheduled.
no, Gallagher there in Malahide last year, and they're fantastic. They're a great band.
Oh, I've been meaning to ask, how was that Digital Coronas concert?
It's pretty fun, yeah. Like my internet's not the best, so I was kind of lagging out. I don't know if like there was just so many people in the stream that I couldn't hack it, you know.
Maybe. Could have been on their end.
Well, maybe, but there was like 3,500 people in the stream at once, you know. So like you couldn't even get a comment in, like, you know. I remember Noxie, the bass player, put in a comment, and it was like he was playing Corona songs, and I think he done one cover, and he was taking a request. The bass player goes, "Play Take That, I Want You Back." I was just like, what a man! Oh. I was like, what a song to suggest, like Danny play on the piano, like, you know.
You were saying you wanted to switch something a bit in, right? You wanted to switch topics.
I don't mind, yeah.
What was the next topic you wanted to go off of?
Maybe like Irish culture or something like that. You know, what's the best and worst elements of us Irish people? You know.
Hold on. Speaking on that, is the spire necessary?
Spire. It really isn't. Like, it's just a shit Eiffel Tower, isn't it?
It's not even a shit Eiffel Tower. Like, every time I go to the spire, I have to look down, because if I look up, I have a bit of vertigo, and anytime I look up near the spire, I get really dizzy and I nearly pass out. So it's not even a case of I can look at it because it looks nice, even though it's just a single spike.
It's really weird, isn't it? Like, I don't know what the point. Like, I walk by it 5 days a week going to college. Like, obviously not now because I'm in my house. Everybody stay in your house. But
unless you want to go and get munchies, breaking the law, I saw.
And it's just so what's it doing there? It's just a place for the tourists to meet up, isn't it? Just meet me at the spire.
Did the government really spend all that money just to have a Fair City opening?
Did you really spend all that money just for an empty Cornetto cone? Come on.
Just for Fair City. It's not even a good Irish show. It's not many good Irish shows, to be honest. We're more of a music kind of. Music and animation is our strong suit.
RTE.
What?
Or the Republic of Telly. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, I remember watching that a while ago. Who was the host of that?
I forget his name.
No.
No, I forget his name. Oh, I can see his face now.
Yeah, so can I.
Can't remember his name. Oh, and there's that girl in it who looks like Brian O'Driscoll's wife. Who looks like a dark-haired girl. You know?
Yeah.
I forget. It's good. Ireland really just copies like everything the BBC and ITV do. Like even like with Dancing with the Stars, it's like you're just doing Strictly.
Wait, with Dancing with the Stars is supposed to be Irish.
But it's supposed to be like the Irish version of it. Like, you know, it's like,
how many times has the Irish has been any time that an Irish version of something has succeeded?
Okay, once Gogglebox. I think the Irish Gogglebox is 10 times better than the British one.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to agree with that. I wouldn't say 10 times, but it is better. Yeah.
8 or 9 times out of 10, I'd go for the Irish one. Do you ever watch the Australian one?
No. How many versions of Gogglebox are there?
Loads of them. The Australian one's pretty funny. I've not watched a lot of it, but like I've seen clips of it. Like, you know, when you're scrolling on Facebook and it's just pop. I've watched a few Australian ones and they're quite funny as well.
Crikey.
Yeah, no, they're very good as well. Like, you know, but some of the English ones are quite good as well. But I think the Irish ones are the best. Like, you know, your one with the Michael D. Higgins teapot and the lads with the twins with the socks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they're staples in Irish culture now.
Yeah, Irish culture is a word. If you went to someone outside of our country, what would you think they'd expect? Oh, you're Irish? So.
Oh, you're Irish. You used to be such a good drinker.
Yeah. Well, in fairness, I don't think that's...
Well, I think that's a big thing. Like, loads of people don't drink anymore, like, you know.
I don't know who you're hanging around with. I can say exactly the opposite, where people
like,
are drinking more often.
And, I gave up drinking 2 years ago.
I didn't. I don't drink that often, but when I do, it's with a certain group of people, so they think I'm an alcoholic.
And everything starts attacks.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
I think everybody feels like an alcoholic around leaving cert. Like, I remember finishing my last exam, and it was music, ironically. Me and my mate from the class who used to sit beside him all the time, I still talk to him to this day. His name's Jack. He's really cool.
Shout out Jack.
Check out his music as well. But so like we'd sit in the class all the time and we'd just like be having the giggles and all. And we were in the exam and like he left and I kind of gave him the eyes like I'm going to be finished, just wait outside. So we sat outside and he waits outside for me. And the first thing we did is went to the office and bought a packet of cans. And we went back to the World Cup from 2018 and watched like Montenegro versus like Egypt or Pakistan or something like that.
The most thrilling matches.
We got drunk in his house straight after the leavings or until like 10:30 at night, and then we just drunk walked up to the centre and walked one of our other friends home. Yeah. And one of me Debs, I started drinking at like 2 in the evening and I didn't stop till like 5 in the morning. I think that was one of the last times I drank was at me Debs.
I didn't even have a Debs. Our school, like, they held the Debs with another thing, but only one person from our 60-person class actually went to the Debs, so it wasn't really worth it.
I've been on 3 Debs.
I'm a very boring person. I've never been to a Debs in my life.
It's a really good crack.
I've been to a few 18s and I assume they're similar.
My 18th was quite funny.
Mine was...
when I started drinking, so...
Wait, you started drinking at 18?
I didn't drink before. I was like... I always wanted to be like, oh no, I never really wanted to drink, and like I never had a drink up until my 18th birthday, and I was just I don't really want to drink. I don't see the appeal in it. Like that's why I gave up as well. Like I just didn't really enjoy drinking. I didn't enjoy not being sober.
Yeah.
And then like my 18th came and everyone was buying me pints and shots and everything just because it was my birthday and they could,
Yeah,
And then, because I celebrated my 18th for like 3 weeks. Like I spent 1 week with my mom's side of the family. I spent the middle week with my friends, and then I spent the week after with my dad's side of the family because I don't live with my dad.
So you had a 3-week birthday.
So it's like for 3 weekends in a row, I had like, a big birthday 18th celebration. I would love the whole weekend. It was great.
my 18 kind of just spanned it over like 4 or 5 days. My 18th is when I realised how much I loved college, because I walked into class, right, they want me to leave because, well, I didn't know at the time, but they were like setting up a little surprise for me, and then I was like, no, I'm really tired, I don't want to go and get you a seat in the canteen, and I was like, just do it. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll be back in a second. And then I walked back in and they just have like a big packet of jellies and like this, those fibre optic lamps? Like the little stringy lamps with the lights at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was just one of those in a bag and then like a little tiny cupcake. And then I was just like, oh my god, thank you. And it was like, shots! Not now, but shots! I don't drink beer.
That's really, really sweet. I'd love like just something small like that. It's just so thoughtful and kind.
Yeah, no, I was so taken aback because I wasn't expecting any of it. And like, some people hand drew me some stuff. I'm like looking at it right now because I have it on my wall.
I was all around my wall as well. So you can just look to them for reference.
Yeah, not even for reference. Like I have a few on my wall, but I have like most of my own drawings, and then I have the one painting I did of V-double in a frame because
my wall, like, instead of wallpaper, I have my entire wall covered in photos of me and my friends. And
that's what you wanted to do for the college, wasn't it?
And we were planning to go ahead with it once we got back, but it's not really happening.
Don't worry, I'll take over the mantle once I'm the new president.
To me, I'm president next year. Don't you worry about it. I'm coming back for our second year.
You're coming back. Well,
then the first year in BCFE.
Well then, fine. I'll run for communications officer again. Hopefully, I don't get laughed out the building like last time. Oh my god. Yeah,
like I've set this. I've 5 Avengers posters up from like going to see the Avengers films, like like the limited edition yokes.
Yeah.
I've got bits of memorabilia, concert tickets, and all that sort of stuff. Bohemian Rhapsody, the lyrics to that up on the wall.
On paper or just like painted?
It's like a poster from Wish that my man got me for Christmas.
Oh well, that's sweet.
It's nice. It's really nice,
I got a poster from a back alley. Not a back alley. Do you know where George Street Arcade?
Yeah.
But it's like really badly cropped. So like the name of the show is just not all there. So it's Hunter.
What show is it?
It's Hunter.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's an anime. But yeah, no, I'm a huge anime nut.
No, anime's good. I love. Have you seen Spirited Away?
Yeah, who hasn't seen Spirited
Spirited
Away?
Away. Fantastic! What a film. I was. We were chatting a bit before. I love Avatar and Yu-Gi-Oh as well.
Yeah.
I rewatched you when I was like. I used to watch that obsessively when I was a kid. Like
You know,
And,
I used to watch obsessively when I was a kid. Beyblades. Beyblades Metal Fusion.
Beyblade was brilliant as well.
That was my shit. Like,
I was so bad at playing Beyblades in real life, and I think I was one of the only kids who was really into it. So I was just sitting there playing Beyblades by myself.
it was something in my school for a little bit. I remember there was only like 3 things that stuck out in primary school. It was the fact that we played football with a tennis ball, and we played some Beyblade.
That's really good for your close control, though. Because it should be alright.
The yard was pretty big. It was just like it was on concrete.
Yeah, I just rewatched Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, and it is honestly it's one of my favorite shows I've ever watched. To be honest.
Yeah, apparently Netflix is doing a live adaptation of it.
The M. Night Shyamalan version is just disrespectful.
The movie.
Yeah, like because M. Night Shyamalan directed it, and it's just.
Would you say it's the most disrespectful adaptation?
Well, of that particular.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean.
Do you know what's really bad? The first Daredevil adaptation. That's really bad. But have you seen the Daredevil TV show on Netflix?
I've seen like scenes from. I don't have Netflix, but I've seen scenes from here and there.
That is really, really, really good. It's one of my favorite shows I've ever watched. It's in my top 5 shows ever. The Daredevil series on Netflix.
I feel like the superhero TV shows are better than all for DC specifically. The TV shows are just so much better than the movies.
The DC films are trash. Like they've only had 2 good ones. Shazam was really good, and Wonder Woman.
Oh,
Shazam! I thought it was so funny. It was like Ant-Man in a way because it just didn't take itself too serious, which made it better.
Yeah, like Guardians of the Galaxy.
That kind of vibe of let's just like make it a comedy before we make art else, and it works for that type of hero. And Daredevil as well. It's another good example of just putting humor before putting anything else forward.
You kind of have to with some of those characters. Well, most of the I think because it's so out there, like superheroes in general, it's inherently more difficult to take seriously. Don't get me wrong, it can be done seriously, like Logan or most of the X-Men movies. Stuff like you can't really take Superman seriously. It's that ridiculous.
I quite liked Man of Steel though. I think Man of Steel gets a lot of shit. I don't think it's a fantastic film by any means. I don't think it's a brilliant film, but I think it gets a lot of shit that it doesn't deserve. I thought it was an okay film. I thought it was quite okay, I've seen it and I probably won't watch it again, but I didn't think it was bad. I've seen it. I think I've watched it 2 or 3 times because it was one of them films. Did you ever have a teacher in school that she just had one DVD in her locker and it was always the same DVD? So if there was if she was out or
White
it was
Chicks.
White Chicks for you, was it?
Yeah.
You got lucky. Mine was
I hate White Chicks now. I hate that movie.
Oh, my nana loves that film, and it's such a weird one for your nana to love. I remember I was 14 and I was in my nana's house, and I'd seen White Chicks before, and she's just scrolling through the channels, and White Chicks was about to start, and she's like, Shaun, have you ever seen White Chicks? I was like, you've seen White Chicks? Wait, what? And she's like, I love White Chicks, and she thought it was brilliant,
Yeah,
that's a classic.
like that with Don't Be a Menace. Did you ever see that?
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's basically it's a growing up in the hood comedy. It's from the Wayne Brothers.
Right.
It's another Wayne Brothers movie. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't really know how to describe it.
Yeah.
It's racist.
Have you gotten onto Disney Plus? Ever since?
It's in the house, but I haven't gotten onto myself. No, I'm waiting for my paycheck to come in, and I'm probably going to check it out.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Like, it's the only thing that's really getting me through that in GTA. Like, me and my mates playing GTA till all hours in the morning.
GTA 5.
It's like, yeah, 5's a pretty round number, so we'll go with 5 in the morning.
Oh no. I don't. GTA 5 is like one of my least favorite GTAs because of the online, and it's not a case of.
It's one of them things that like I can't spend too long playing it. Like, I couldn't spend 2 days playing that. I'd have to move on to another game. But I think when you do the right stuff with, especially with the right people, like if you're just doing GTA, if you're doing GTA to actually win the races and actually finish the heist, you're doing it wrong. You should be doing it for a laugh.
Yeah, no, I do it for a laugh, but it's just one of those things where I'm a broke bitch, so I can't do. I can't even play it seriously when I want to. It's one of those games where I can play it for like I'm the exact opposite. I can play it for like 2 days, but then I have to leave it alone for like a few months before I feel like playing it again.
I haven't played it in about 2 years, and like I just say, because me and my mates, like I play very different. Like the only games I really play are FIFA, GTA, and Minecraft, and it's mainly just FIFA. And like I don't play Xbox, I don't game that much. Like I used to when I was a kid, but not as much anymore. Like I just don't have the time for, just trying to write stuff. I just don't have time to play games, and like I lost a lot of interest in it. But ever since this whole quarantine thing, I've like just said, right, with a little past a few hours, like it just makes the day go by a bit quicker. Especially like going into the night, just playing for hours and then waking up at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I know. Has everyone been on the same sleep schedule then? 5 and then waking up at 3.
Yeah, I think so. And but like you don't wake up at 3. You wake up at 9, then you wake up at 11:30, then you wake up at 3.
Yeah, no, definitely. Except for when my body's like, no, skip the alarm this time. I don't care.
It's fine, and especially when we started, because like I'm usually I to be in our college 5 days a week, and it takes me 2 hours to get to college. So I'm usually out my house now by 7:30. I usually get up at 6:30 and have a shower, get me breakfast.
I used to be like that for school, but I
actually like that. I like getting up early.
I don't.
I get up early.
I don't mind it, but I had a very bad problem with I don't have insomnia, but I struggle to get to sleep. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what insomnia
I can get that as well the odd time.
Yeah, well, I usually got them more often than not, and it's not a case of I didn't have enough sleep for the morning, but 8 times out of 10 I'd fall asleep on the bus back.
I remember I done a 24. I was awake 24 hours once, and it's because basically I was just going. I was off one day from college. I think it was in the midterm or so. No, it was last summer, and I was off. I was doing night shifts, and I got a call saying, "Oh, I'm after the person who's doing the night shift tonight is after calling sick. Do you want to come in?" I said, "Yeah, go on, come in. Not bother." And then the person who was supposed to come in the morning also called in sick, so I had to stay back an extra couple of hours. So I ended up doing like a 12-hour, 13-hour shift or something.
Well, hey, more pay.
I was. Yeah, well, this thing I was just like, I want to get more money. I just like, I'm not going anywhere. But I was getting a second job. I was starting to do some promotional work, and like a lot of people who follow my page a couple of months will know I used to do Academy's promotion. And they used to pay
stuff like that in your story.
Yeah, I stopped in like January. The whole like section I was in, we just got told, right, we're not making enough money. We're gonna let you all go. I was like, right, cool. Like, the promotions just got like hacked, and it's like, right now it's only going to be us doing it, like the in-house guys. And I was like, okay, that's fair. But I remember it was like July, and I was going over to give them my bank details and just starting my contract saying, hey, we're going to pay a certain amount of money to post stuff on your story, which was handy money, But it was the morning after I'd done this night shift where I'd come in, and then I got delayed. So I was like, I'd been awake over 24 hours and done a 12-hour shift.
Oh,
I remember
coffee the whole over.
I don't drink coffee.
Jesus Christ.
I don't drink alcohol and I don't drink coffee. What do I survive on? Muju, mate. Muju and tea. Don't diss Muju. Muju is whopper.
I'm not dissing Muju. I'm just surprised you didn't mention meth.
Only on Sundays.
Only as a treat, yeah.
Only on God's day.
Yeah. sure he said the Lord gaveth the crystal.
I got the bus from Branch Centre, and I just turned off onto the motorway onto the M50, and I just knocked out. Like, I was just so tired. Like, I was in work and I was trying to keep myself awake because I think I'd done. Yeah, I was there till like 12 o'clock. I think I'd done 12 to 12. So I was on the way in, and I just kind of like I was kind of like I felt like I was just closing my eyes for like a second or two, and then like I closed my eyes and opened them again, and all of a sudden I'm at the halfway house. Closed them again. All of a sudden I'm at Cabra.
Wait, were you driving or
the bus? Like,
oh yeah, okay, cool. That's
just there, kind of dozing in and out of consciousness. I remember just opening my eyes very, very subtly, and then just hearing "Bachelor's Walk." Get up!
What?
Because I was getting off at Bachelor's Walk, it's the bus stop beside on Ashton Quay, and I was just like shit, and like I was just like jumping up, like, you know, because I got such a fright. Like I felt like I only thought I closed my eyes for like I thought I was still in Blanche. You know,
yeah.
Like, I just
I know the exact feeling. I was doing that on the bus going towards school because I didn't get any sleep the night before, and I was at Houston Station, and I was trying to keep myself awake, and it sounded like the song wasn't even moving forward or anything. But then I opened my eyes to the bus driver scream, like I was at Ashton Quay at the last stop, and he's just screaming, "Get off the fucking bus!" And I just fucking got up freaking out, and I nearly left me bag behind me. He's just screaming the entire time.
Don't need to swear there, sir.
What?
Don't need to swear there, sir.
You don't need to worry. This ain't a children-friendly podcast. I don't want that.
This is the PG-13 podcast.
The one that won't get me arrested and fined 53 grand.
That's nothing. Pebbles. I'll pay that for it.
It's like a Mark for Kids thing that's on YouTube. And what?
I've filtered out the like, you know, like so it doesn't pop up on kids' pages.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kids
this is definitely not a child-friendly podcast. Literally.
Kids aren't going to be exposed to my extremely depressing music, no?
No.
No, alright, so early childhood repression is not going to start just yet.
Not yet, no. 13 plus.
Oh, yeah. 13 plus only, yeah.
13 plus years of my life I can't get back.
You need to have a written email from your parents saying you're allowed to watch it.
Oh yeah, you can watch it if you can find it. All are welcome.
Just some 12-year-old like, shit, I was going to watch this until the end, but I can't now, I've been told not to. Grr.
Yeah. You know, we've been going on for long enough where I'm just like, usually I have two parts to this, but I have enough faith in this interview that it's just going to be this. Like, we still have. We're not done talking. At least I hope we're not.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, it's just like there's so much content here that I feel like I don't need to do my own part, because I was struggling in anyways to be like, what will I talk about? Because like people keep saying they don't like my part, and then I'm like, okay, what would you like me to talk about?
Sexy.
What?
I thought your part was quite sexy.
Oh my god, thank you. I really appreciate it. All this flattery. Fine, you'll see the tape, pal.
It's actually like there's almond pants.
But yeah, no, like I asked people if they're like, hey, what would you be interested in? 55 people saw that. Almost all of them watched that podcast, and anyways, only one person responded. So shout out Luke. I'm gonna put him in the description as well. The description's gonna be loaded. But shout out Luke. Appreciate you. Conspiracy theories next time.
Luke, you're a good man for supporting your friends.
Yeah, thank you, Luke.
One of the things people don't realise, like a small share or like a little comment can go such a long way when you're like in a creative industry.
Yeah.
You know, like I done a live stream there last week, one of the days, and like there was just one of my friends who, like, you know, I don't like, I used to go to school with her, and she's one of my friend's boyfriends, and just a small, like, she was just showing such nice support, like, and I texted her out, like, you know, she was there for the whole stream. She'd like comment after every song, oh, I really like that. Was she? I was like, oh, that was really. It's just little things like sticking out.
Yeah, just that positive encouragement.
Small things like, you know, sharing on your story and commenting, saying, like, even if it's like, you know, just to get the numbers up there, like, you know, and just thrown into conversations when you're talking about, like, when you're talking about music. Oh, my friend is making music and this is the stuff you should check out. I really like it. Even if you don't like it, it's just nice to get a bit of support, like,
Yeah, absolutely. Like,
and it goes such a long way. Like, it really, really is helpful. Like, and I was chatting. We've been having a conversation since, like, because I texted her saying thanks so much, and we're still on the same conversation. Me and this girl, and like we're just chatting away. But he means a lot. Like, even when you text me after I released Touch,
because it was a really good song, and I really wanted to get it out there.
So it was so nice because, like, I don't actually know you all that well. I've seen you in college once or twice, but, like, I don't know you personally,
Yeah.
At all. Like, we don't do similar courses around. We don't bump into each other. Like,
I see you in the art canteen from time to time, and I'd be like, should I go say hi? But he seems busy on his phone, so I'll leave him be for now.
I'm probably just sitting there crying that I'm by myself.
Hey, loser. Oh, I feel so bad.
I'm sorry. My friends. Look at him all. Look how he's eating the sausage all girl. Look at get another can of Coke. Go on, get 2 fellows, you greedy fucker. Yeah, it was just really nice that you dropped that text and you shared it, and, like, it's little things like that people don't understand when you're in a creative industry that will go such a long way, and it's so motivating as well. Like,
yeah, I know, and I know how tough it is to make a song because I tried for 5 whole minutes.
yeah, steady 5 minutes.
I mean,
I was saying, like, I hadn't written this time last year. I hadn't written a song, and now I've got like 20 songs, and I've got like 5 that I actually think are really good songs that I have a bit of faith in, and there's like 5 others that are like, they're okay, like, they're good building blocks, and there's 10 other songs that no one will ever hear. Just because they're not well. I'm not saying never. Like, they could be reworked, or, like, something could be done.
Or like something you'd whip out in a concert of your own, or maybe even a podcast in the future.
What are you getting at here now?
No, I'm just wondering.
The thing is, like, it's important. Like, Bob Dylan writes a song every day. It doesn't matter how good or bad it is, and he does it on a typewriter as well, which is really unique. I like to handwrite my songs.
Yeah.
Like, we were made to start by the college to, like, keep track of our songwriting, but I like just to write everything down by hand, because I find I remember a lot better if I handwrite it.
Yeah.
Plus, if I handwrite it, nobody can understand my handwriting, so nobody's going to plagiarise me.
That is actually a good counter measure.
Because my handwriting shit. So if anybody ever asks me for an autograph, I'm just going to apologise in advance for that.
Well, can people really understand people's signatures? There was, out of all the times I've seen a signature in my life, there was only been one that I've been able to understand. And it was just...
If you didn't know who it was, you wouldn't know whose signature it would be.
Yeah. Even still, I didn't know who it was because it was a Secret Santa. But, like, I was able to read it. Shout out Abigail for the hedgehog.
I'm looking at some of the ones I have on my wall. Like, I have a couple of signatures floating around the place, and the one that stands out for me of, like, who, like, you couldn't have told who that was unless you seen what album it's on, or what. No, there's no Gallagher signature. Like, I've 5 signed things by Noel here, and, like, the signature is literally, it's like a straight line, an N with a curl at the end of it to make an L, and then it's like kind of like a C and a straight line. So it looks kind of like a D, but, like, it's just like connected off. It's just like, and all the signatures are like a 5 of them here, and they all look almost identical.
Well, that's how signatures are supposed to work. My signature doesn't, however. I just write out a big Z and then scribble the rest of it on the line that goes through.
I do my F's backwards on my signature just to be unique.
Just to be unique. That must be difficult to not do that in general, then.
I do, like, the SH squiggle and then FI squiggle and then, like, a line through and then a dot on top of my I. What's where the I is supposed to be, because it's just a squiggle. Because it's INN in joint handwriting, that just looks like a squiggle anyway, so I can get away with literally just going up, down, up, down, up, down, and just put a dot on top of the middle one, and it looks like Finn.
I mean, that's how you want to
is just an S, and then like
the way cheat the system.
God, it's cheat writing. That's all. That's all the signature is. Cheat writing. But like, I've
Cursive.
I have a friend of mine who is. She was like to me. Her dad always taught her to always write her signature in a scribble. That way, if anybody ever comes to you with like some, or like, oh, you signed this saying, like, that's not my signature, because it's just a scribble. And then you can do something else that like is a bit more professional looking. Like, that's my signature. That's not my signature that you have there.
Oh, that's sneaky, but
Yeah,
it's smart.
that's not held up in the court of law now. But if it's just like a small thing, like, you know,
Yeah.
like with me or at, but like it's like, you know, it's a small thing that could work. Like, you know, you signed the contract. You know, mate, you owe me 2 cans of coke. You agreed to it. You signed this contract. You have not got any signature of mine. That is a scribble that you've done yourself. This is my signature.
Well,
Yeah.
on that 2 cans of coke thing, how when you have a friendship and your mate buys you something, do you see it as, okay, I'll catch back with something later, or is it a case of, I owe you this much money, I will get you back or something which is worth this much money kind of thing?
Depends on the friend. Like, me and my best mate Adam, like, there's been time, like, my mate Adam's 2 months older than me, but I was born in September, so he was always the school year ahead of me.
Yeah.
And he also didn't do TY, so he left school and I was in 5th year, even though he's only 2 months older than me. And he had a job, and he was in college, and he was working 4 days a week. And there was that period where like I had no money coming in, or like I was working jobs, but they were cash in hand jobs and they weren't regular, so I didn't have like a regular income like I do now, you know. And even at that, it was only like 20 or 30 quid a week. Like, you know, it was just little bit jobs here and there wherever I could get a bit of money when I was 16 or 15, like, you know.
Yeah.
And he was always very like, oh, no, I'll sort you out. I'll buy this for you. But then there was a period there about 2 years ago where he was unemployed and he couldn't get a job, and then I had a regular income, and I was working quite a lot, and I was in college, and then I was like, here, I'll sort you out. Like, we just do it. Like, me and him, we just do it on, like, you know, oh, look, I bought this, you buy that. Like, you know, like, I made a bet with him during the day. He was convinced he was going to get sacked. And I said, if you don't get sacked, you have to buy us the Chinese. If you get sacked, I'll buy us the Chinese.
Oh, that is...
He didn't. So
that's
I'm
a nice
hoping...
way to show support.
I knew he wouldn't get sacked, so I'm just saying that, and you owe me a Chinese, and I know he'll listen to this. Well, I hope he listens to this.
I hope
You owe
so
me a
too.
Chinese.
I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people who are going to get very positive vibes from this podcast specifically, because this is literally the first time that I'm talking to you, and we're having such a great conversation. Like, we've already gone over an hour long and we're still going strong. People who I know personally, we struggle to reach a half an hour.
But that's the good thing about doing like with somebody on me, like, kind of know, because like, there's a more to explore. Because if you know the answer to questions, it's real awkward, like, you know.
Yeah,
whereas, like, this
a little
is only
bit.
the fifth conversation we've ever had. So, like, I'm not including Instagram messages.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, our Instagram messages are pretty good as well. I mean, I'll always advocate for fighting the foo any day.
I'm waiting on you to give me that "you up" text. That's all I'm waiting for. Are you within 2 kilometers?
Hey, you want to sneak out for quarantine tonight?
Woohoo!
Yeah, let's run away from the guard and see how fast you can run.
Yeah, I can't run that fast.
Yeah, no.
Well, even,
Neither can
like,
I.
you see, what you were saying, but like, see if there was somebody new, like, say it was, say at the start of the year in college or something,
Yeah.
or something, and they gave me €1, I'd want to give them that €1 back, or I'd want to buy them a drink sometime, or like, you know, like, I'd like to say thank you in some way, whether that's repaying them or buying them something. Like, you know, just, I'd never get somebody, like, say somebody said, oh, do you want to go to the deli? Oh, I have no money. Oh, come on, I'll sort you out. Oh, no. Oh, come on, come on, don't mind. Come on, you're my mate. Alright, go on, thanks. At some stage, I'd like to either return it and buy one back for them, or thank them and say, alright, thanks for that, and never repay them. You know, I'd always want to repay somebody in some form, like, you know, whether that's a thank you, whether that's giving them the money back, just buying them the same thing.
I'm the exact same thing, and this is a call out right now to fucking Daryl Jennings, alright, because he won't let me pay him back. He's bailed me out 3 times. No, he bailed me out 4 times, and each and every time he won't let me pay him back. I tried to give him the money up front, he's like, no, don't you dare, don't you ever give me money again, that's not how this works. It's like, I appreciate it, but it's like, come on, please give me closure. I beg, please.
You know, like I always try and like pay back or like it depends on what it is. Like like with like some of my friends, like you always you help your mate too. You need to be a mate. Like sometimes like come here. At the end of the day, it can be something stupid. Sometimes when you go down to the shop, you think you have loads of money, but then like your phone bill just came out, or your iTunes came out, or your Spotify, or
That's
your
exactly
Netflix.
what happened.
Like I've been on the opposite side of the counter where I'm serving somebody and that card gets declined. I'm like, come here, man. Don't be embarrassed. I've been there. Don't worry. Like shit happens in life.
My card got rejected for a bottle of water. It happened because I had like 170 on my bank card, and the tag said 120. I went up to the counter. Turns out it was like 250, and I was like, the cheapest drink they had. Circle K is a rip off, and also time moves weird in there.
True.
Double the speed.
These are all facts. Time's a different thing in there. It's like they're on space time continuing inside.
I know, it's like you go inside for 5 minutes, you come out, it's an hour later.
Either that or you're in there for half an hour and it's only 5 minutes.
I know, it's so weird because it's just a tiny garage.
Depends on what time you, like I used to work at the garage, so it depends on what time you go in at. Like like I used to remember like the hours between like 3 to 7 would fly in, but anything after 7, anything seemed like a drag.
Yeah, that time you'd be heading in would be around 5:30, 6 o'clock right after work. Yeah.
The time where it's kind of like mid-drift, like depends on who's in. Depends on who's you're catching.
Yeah,
it's I work in the
Circle K
garage.
is cursed.
I used to work for Maxwell.
Really? Wait, so it's all garages that this happens then, not just Circle K?
Well, it's like the garage culture, really, innit?
Yeah, when I think of the garage culture, I just think of going up to the garage at like 10 o'clock at night, going up to the window and like, yeah, do you have any milk?
No, I'll take it.
Are garages doing that now and anyways? Instead of just late at night, considering this whole...
Me and my mate Adam, we went down to the garage there. Me, Adam and Robin, we were sitting in my house and it was like 12:30 and my mate Adam was waiting to get paid. And he was like, oh, here, we get paid, we fell down to the garage. And like, me and Robin were already down the shop, so we didn't particularly want to rush back down, so we said, yeah, wait for you to get paid, not bother. And we were saying, whatever. And we strolled down to the garage. It was closed.
What?
Coronavirus. Closed it down, did it?
But it's a garage.
I know, I thought...
That's the most reliable shop you can go.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's a big, huge Aldi right beside it, where I live. Well, it was 12:30 at night, so no. But they didn't like need to stay open. Like it's probably not busy enough for them to justify staying open that late and putting their workers at risk. That's the way I look at it, anyway. Maybe,
but if you're willing to work in a garage, you must be willing to work till doomsday.
I was lucky. The garage I used to work in actually wasn't like a 24-hour garage. It used to close at 12.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I actually got robbed in there as well. Fun fact, I got held up.
I'm not surprised, to be honest. Just working in garages in general.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I really liked my boss. My boss, like, if I could ever want a boss back, would be my boss from there because he was a really, really, really good guy.
Yeah.
Really great manager and a really nice guy.
My boss now is one of the soundest people ever.
Is what?
My boss now is one of the soundest people I've ever met. I was explaining to him that I couldn't go in for the next 2 weeks, not because of I wasn't available for work, but because my parents didn't feel comfortable with me going in, and he was like totally okay with it. He understood.
Well, they have to be.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was being a bit of a dick about it because I was like telling him one thing, I was telling him another, but he was still being understanding because, like, it's a weird situation for me because I get dropped in by my parents because my job is so far away.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that he put up with it and promised me my job back afterwards.
Yeah, well, it's nice. Yeah, it's because it's such a strange time. People want to take the time off. Employers can't really be like, no, how dare you? We have to make it work. If you don't feel safe, you don't feel safe, and you gotta look after your safety first and foremost.
Yeah, definitely. That is one sentiment I can agree with.
100%. Only the worst of employers. If you get sacked, if you get sacked for that, it's unfair dismissal and you could actually sue them. But like at the end, it's health and safety, and it's just like if you feel like your life is at risk going to work, you've every right not to go into work. You know, it's like I got robbed. I even still have a lot of PTSD from that, and like you know, I got robbed on O'Connell Street as well. In December of 2018, yeah, it was that, yeah, 2 years ago. I got robbed twice that year. I got robbed in my job, and I got robbed on O'Connell Street.
How'd that happen?
I was waiting for my.
Were you held up with a knife?
No. When I was in work, I got held up with a knife, and your man jumped off the counter and had me emptying the till into his bag. And then when I was on O'Connell Street, some fella just came up and gave me a dig and knocked me over and took some stuff off me.
That happened to me too, except they didn't take anything off me. I was 4 years old walking in town, and then this junkie came over and just kind of smacked me across the head. No reason. It was for no reason whatsoever. I think he was just out of it.
Snapping, like I actually felt like crying because I when I was on O'Connell Street, I was wearing my Beats, my wireless Beats, and well, like they were one of them things because I was using them in college all the time. Like they were worth about 300 quid, but they were like so invaluable to me.
Yeah,
they were so. Yeah. Like, I used those things at least 3 or 4 times a day, like going to places and listening to music. Like I used to listen to a lot more music on those because the quality of them was so good. Whereas the headphones I have now are kind of they're wired Beats from a few years ago that I just picked up. Like one of my mates actually gave them to me because he got a new pair. You know the way some colleges give them free Beats. Shout out to BCFE for not doing that.
Okay, I thought it was just the thing I was missing out on.
So like one of my mates' colleges were giving out free wireless Beats, and he just said, "Here, do you want to just take that ones off me until you get a new pair?" I was like, "Yeah." But the thing is, like, they're releasing new Beats at the end of this year anyway, so I just said instead of paying 300 quid again for the exact same pair, I'm just going to wait and spend 300 quid on a newer pair. Like, no, just wait a year. You know, and that way a lot.
I'm just going to keep vibing with my €6 Londis earphones.
I need a good quality set of earphones. Like the Apple earpods aren't that bad. Like, I've not tried the earpods, but like the wired earpods that you get. Like I just got a new iPhone. I got the iPhone 11 there a few weeks back, and like I got the wired earphones, and they're actually not that bad. I actually have to get a lot louder. Since the last time I listened to them. And then the headphones I use are these wired Beats that are okay. They're a bit like uncomfortable because they're very small and have a massive head.
Yeah, no, we used to have a very old pair of wired Beats as well, and the cushion on the thing was like super thin.
It's like it's grand for like half an hour, but like once you get to like an hour with them things on you, it's actually just sore to have them on your head.
Yeah, and like what's the point? Because with over the head earphones, like your headphones, you want them to last for like long periods of time. Because if you're just going for like a 30-minute walk or something, you won't wear the entire like headphones. You'd probably wear earphones or something.
It depends. Like I like to wear headphones going on a walk with my dog. You know, just to clear the head. Because like where my park is, there's a road right beside it, and there's like roads on either side. So you hear a lot of cars. If you just had earphones in, so I prefer to wear headphones personally on my walks. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Right outside my house, there's a huge park, and do you know where the sports centre is?
In Ballyfermot?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah, I know whereabouts it is.
That park behind it is like the park near me.
Right.
That just huge park is like so close to me. I could just go for a walk wherever, and they're building like a playground or something, which would be cool. I'd probably take
my dog here at the top of the park because he started the park downstairs.
Wait, what?
I think my dog can hear us talking with the park because he's just starting the park down.
What? Oh, if he could hear me, he'd probably like just come in and destroy everything.
That was the best. He wouldn't destroy it.
Well,
he's very hyper on my dog. My dog, he's very hyper. He's a boxer. He's an extremely hyper dog. But he's the best. He's harmless. Like he couldn't hurt a fly.
Oh yeah, it's usually the bigger dogs who are like harmless. It's the tiny ones that you have to worry about. Jack Russells.
Oh, it's small dog syndrome all the way. Oh, it's small dog syndrome all the way.
Yeah. I just have a cat. I
really like kittens. Kittens are pretty cute, but I'd never get a cat.
See the thing, well, I got her as a kitten, and I have her like she's about like 1.5 now. it's the thing where she doesn't need constant attention, but when she wants attention, she'll find you, and she'll just like sit up beside you. And like my cat headbutts me. Like she usually headbutts my hand if she wants a pet, or headbutts my face when I'm lying down. She's woken me up a few times by doing that.
I just find cats are very like a cat's very independent, whereas like a dog needs you.
Absolutely,
so,
yeah.
Like dogs are a lot more like, oh my god, you are my world, whereas cats are like, yeah, like you're just there, That's why I'm sure dogs a lot more.
Yeah. I don't know. It's nice to have the independence of the cat.
I firmly believe that dogs are the best thing in the planet. Like, hands down, they are kind. Their only purpose in the world is to love you, and that's just the best. Like, there's a lot of fantastic animals, but dogs are just the best thing in the world. And they're loyal to you. They'll never leave you. They'll never betray you as long as you treat them right.
Don't get me wrong. They are top 3 for sure, but for me, they're not number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1 for me is a hedgehog.
I've not seen enough hedgehogs in person to make a good judgment on that, to be honest.
I've been looking into them a lot. Like, I just like looking up about different animals, especially hedgehogs.
I've been doing a deep dive on their Instagram.
What?
I've been doing a deep dive on their Instagrams. Sonic, he's looking like nowadays, Tails, and now he's getting on a bit.
And Knuckles has become a professional boxer. He's going to fight KSI next year. Oh my god, KSI has become Knuckles with his new hair. I just... Oh fuck, I don't know how I'm only after copping that now.
At the start, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, god.
That's funny.
Thank you, I'm a comedic genius.
So the undercard, who's Joe Weller fighting? Tails?
I feel like
Dr. Rock.
Jack Black?
Is it Dr. Rock is the villain's name in Sonic?
No, that's Eggman. Doc Ock is from Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was Jim Carrey playing in the new film?
Yeah, he played Dr. Eggman.
Oh, Doctor.
He did a wonderful job. Like I was saying this last episode, I loved the Sonic movie. Everyone involved did such a good job.
I love the fact that they reacted to the fan service of, oh my god, that CGI is dreadful, change that, and they actually did.
Yeah, and who said bullying gets you nowhere?
No. Jesus, right? We're not fans and not careful.
Yeah, I get into very bad laughing fits. Of that thing the Joker has for sure, yeah.
That's a great film now.
Yeah, very good.
Joaquin fully deserved the Oscar for that.
Definitely, and I'm glad that he got is that the first Oscar given out for a superhero movie?
No, Heath Ledger won it as well.
The Joker.
He won it for his portrayal of the Joker in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, if you can do it well, you can do it very well. I think. What do you think of Jared Leto as the Joker?
I didn't really like Suicide Squad, to be honest with you.
I didn't like him, but I don't feel like he deserved all the hate he got because most of the decision.
It was pretty hard to, he was the first live action Joker after Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And it was a big thing to follow up, and he tried to do something completely different, which I do commend, but it just didn't work. The big problem with the Joker is you could take Joker out, you could take every scene the Joker is in out of Suicide Squad, and it would not affect the plot one bit.
Oh, absolutely not. But the thing is, there were so many more scenes with Jared Leto, with his Joker, that ended up getting taken out of the movie.
Yeah. But even still, with all them taken out, it didn't cause any confusion to the plot or anything,
Oh, absolutely not. But you could take out almost all of the movie.
I feel bad for Jared Leto. I think I'd give him another crack at it. If they're going to do more DCU films with Joker, I'd let him have another 1 or 2 cracks at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. The thing is,
I hate the way they wrote the Joker. It wasn't Jared Leto's fault.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. And the way they designed the Joker was really stupid as well. Like the tattoos they gave him was very abysmal. It was god awful.
Yeah. If they could do Joker like they done Harley, it was cartoonish to an extent, Whereas it just felt like Jared Leto's, because they were trying to contrast Heath Ledger, it just felt way too cartoony for me. Whereas Harley had that really good balance of cartoony, but also realistic and sexy.
Yeah, definitely.
Where at?
Yeah, I mean DC's been trying their best. The new Harley Quinn, sorry, not the Harley Quinn movie, the Birds of Prey movie. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's getting a lot of shit because it's not a Harley Quinn movie, but it's mostly focused on Harley Quinn, but it's not focused on her enough to make it a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't watch it either. I gave up on DC after Justice League, except for Shazam. I went to see Shazam.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it has to... Like, if they released a Green Arrow movie or a Flash movie, I'd go see that. Depends.
Just based on TV shows, though, really.
Yeah, for sure. But, if they had, an...
I'd love them to have a crack at Green Lantern, to be honest. I think that should be the next thing they should have a crack at. Because Green Lantern has a lot of potential. But it needs a good script and it needs the right actor.
Yeah, and they should have a post-credit scene where they killed Ryan Reynolds again.
Yeah. I don't think Ryan Reynolds did that bad. I don't think he's atrocious. I
just like that from Deadpool too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just play the exact same scene as well.
Just have it as Deadpool instead of the Green Lantern.
Yeah, he can play all of the Red Lanterns.
The Green Lantern kill Wade Wilson, like the Fox one, the newer one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other DC heroes. Because when I think of DC, I think of Injustice, and then I'm like, who was a guest character and who was an actual character in that? Because I'm not.
I think they could make a pretty good TV show around. What's the fucking it's the team that Robin's on, the kids team,
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. They could make it. I know that there's a movie supposed to be coming out about that, but I think that would work a lot better as a TV show, like a dark TV show, kind of like.
That's what it used to be, kind of as a cartoon. It was like a darker, more serious cartoon before they made Teen Titans go.
Ever seen the cartoon now?
The cartoon's very good. I'd highly recommend it. I'm not sure where you can watch it, but if you can find it.
I know it used to be on Cartoon Network back in the day, but I haven't got Cartoon Network anymore.
Yeah, and I don't think they air it anymore. They usually air Teen Titans Go now, which is not good.
What was
well,
that?
At least they know it's not good.
What was that show? And it was about the monsters in that gaff. Do you remember? And it was like they were all adopted or something.
What was that on, Nick or Cartoon Network or what?
Cartoon Network. It was around the time of Ed, Edd and Eddie, and the Adventures of the Grim Reaper. Will and Gills. It was around that era. I forget the name of the show.
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure myself because I was more of a Nickelodeon kid.
I kind of drifted between the two of them. I thought the shows on Cartoon Network were better, but the better shows were always on late at night. Like Ed, Edd and Eddie, that was always on later at night. Because I think I was getting. I think I was a kid when that stuff was kind of coming out of fashion. Or Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
Johnny Bravo.
What do you think of Johnny Test?
Johnny Test was really good. I actually used to really like that.
Yeah, I think it gets too much shit, especially for its animation. But aside from the animation, I thought it was entertaining.
The fetishes have stemmed from that show, so I'll give it. I'll give the approval.
Well, while we're doing this, I'm just gonna run through more cartoons because we're on to something here. What about Fanboy and Chum Chum?
I can remember that name. I can't remember. Let me look.
It was like two kids living on their own. One of them had like a purple hero outfit with like a weird squarish head, and then the other was like a younger kid.
Oh, I never really watched that much.
It wasn't good, but it was also the best thing ever.
It was so bad it was good.
Yeah, definitely. And people don't appreciate it as much as they should.
Actually, just done a TikTok about like old TV show theme tunes. TikTok is S Finner, by the way, everybody. But like, if you go onto my TikTok, there's a video, and it's like, like you stand to the left or to the right of, like, if you either watch the show and you can sing this theme song to it, or you can't. So I think there was like 3 I couldn't get. And like, one of my friends texted me like, "How did you not know what Ant Farm was?" I was like, "What's Ant Farm? I've never heard."
No, I haven't. I haven't heard of it.
How chicken you?
What were the other ones you got wrong?
Oh, I don't even know. I could tell you the ones I got right. The thing, I didn't know what they were, but like, I know Ant Farm was one that my friend Caitlin was like, "Oh my god, how did you not get that?" But like, there was like, iCarly was on there. I think Victoria's like one of the best theme songs ever. Sweet Melody. Hannah Montana was there. Wizards of Waverly Place. That was a great show. The finale to Wizards of Waverly Place is fantastic. I only watched that the other day.
Was that a movie?
They done like a big hour and a half special. I'm not sure if it was a movie or if it was just a TV show special. But it was like, when the family wizard gets picked.
Yeah, yeah. I remember what it is. I just couldn't remember if it was considered a movie or a TV special.
I can't remember myself. I only watched like the last couple of minutes. Like it just came up on my Facebook thing. The things of Gogglebox and everything comes up. It just came up on that because I was watching loads of Disney stuff because of Disney Plus.
Yeah. What would be the best TV show theme of all time? Alright, we'll go cartoon, sitcom, and then other, because
then like actual shows.
Yeah.
Alright, so like cartoon, like are we going to class cartoons and kids TV shows in the same, or are we going to go cartoons, kid TV shows?
We'll go separate. Cartoons, then kid TV shows, and then sitcom.
Just cartoons.
If you want, cartoons can also include anime. What?
Your move. Just bringing this in.
Yeah, a while ago I did this poll on Instagram. I did this whole like bracket system where I had like, these anime themes versus those, and I'm so disappointed Yu-Gi-Oh lost. It beat Pokemon, which I was very happy about, but lost in the second round.
The ancient Pokemon is up there. It's in my consideration already.
Like,
it was worked by how simple it was. Ed, and Eddie.
How did that one go again?
It was just whistling. That's all it was.
That kind of reminds me of Amazing World of Gumball. That had a good theme as well.
Do you remember Chowder?
See, the thing is, I remember watching Chowder, but I don't remember going out of my way to watch Chowder.
It was one of them ones where it was on after a show you liked and you were like, yeah, just watch it.
Pretty much, yeah. It'd be like, I'm at my mum's friend's house and this is on the telly. This is what we're doing now. Okay.
This is what we're vibing.
Yeah.
I only found out Chowder was an actual dish only like about 2 years ago, and I went, oh my god, I was watching that show about that little cook the whole time and I didn't even know.
Wait, that was an actual dish. Chowder isn't cheese?
It's a soup.
Oh.
Thinking of chowder.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I can't remember the theme song to that. Do you remember the Chop Socky Chucks? It's about like a ninja hot dog or something.
There was like 4 of them. No. Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to go for best theme song for animation. I'm actually going to go for Pokemon.
Okay, I'm going to go with Cowboy Bebop. It is... Have you heard the opening to Cowboy Bebop?
Well, I don't remember anyway.
It was an anime, not a cartoon, but the thing is, its opening is so iconic that I feel like, to me personally, it's the best anime and animation opening of all time. Basically, it's just like, it's very jazz heavy. It's like high tempo jazz. Honestly, if you get the time, look it up. It's like 3 minutes long and you'll appreciate it. Yeah, so that'd be my pick. Sitcom. No, wait, no, kids TV show first.
Kids TV show, right? So my contenders for this have got to be Hannah Montana, Drake and Josh, Victorious, Wizards, and they're my 5 in contention. But I'm gonna go for the Drake and Josh theme song.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Drake and Josh is so.
Honorable mention needs to go to Zach and Cody, who had a really, really good one as well.
Yeah. So the thing is, I remember Zach. Whenever I think of Zach and Cody, I never ever think of the opening.
Really?
Yeah, no, I just think of like the actual show and like certain scenes in it. That like they're the main things that stick out. But for like Drake and Josh, the opening is so iconic. I feel like
I never thought that'd be so simple, but I found a way, If you open up your mind, it's gonna take time to realize. What a song!
Yeah, absolute banger. Hopefully Drake Bell doesn't hear this because he'll hate us.
Oh, we didn't mention in the cartoons one that I just want to give a quick shout out to actually. The two actually.
Yeah,
so the first, Danny Phantom, right?
Oh.
And the second one that we didn't mention but deserves a mention, Phineas and Ferb.
I want to change. No, I don't want to change my answer. But Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb was rocking.
Most of the songs on Phineas and Ferb are rocking. Ain't Got Rhythm is still one of the best songs they've ever released. Yeah.
Alright, but for kids TV show, I'm gonna go Drake and Josh.
I'm not even gonna try and find a different one to contend with it. I'm gonna have to go with Drake and Josh as well.
Alright, so best sitcom. But like the obvious big one is Friends.
I have, for openings, I have a. Do you want me to say mine now, or do you want to keep trying to thinking about it?
Well, do whatever you want. Like I'm gonna like throw out a couple of them and then pick mine.
Alright, I'm gonna say my absolute favorite right now is the King of Queens.
Yeah, that's good. Really good.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Well, right, one that I actually really dislike the show, but I actually really like the intro to it, and that's the Big Bang Theory. I don't like Big Bang Theory at all. I think it's trash.
Yeah.
I think it's such a rip off of Friends, and so is How I Met Your Mother. I think How I Met Your Mother is the worst for it. I think like at least like it's a really different approach. With
I liked How I Met Your Mother up until the last season, and then the last season just made me not like it.
I know what happens at the end of it, because I one of my friends was really into it, and I was watching the last episode with him, so I've seen what happens at the end, but like. And that would annoy me as well if I'd gotten really invested. It's like Game of Thrones. I've not watched Game of Thrones, but I don't know what happens. But everybody's really pissed off about the last 2 seasons, so I'm actually glad I didn't invest so much time into it.
Yeah.
Because everybody seems to be really the ending.
Oh my god, there was one that just popped in my head. That 70s show.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Well, it's a good show. The opening's really good.
You know, another show though.
What?
Men. Ooh, men. It's so simple.
Yeah.
The Simpsons and Family Guy, gotta give them honorable mentions as well.
Everybody hates Chris.
Because I think John's really good. It hasn't got any lyrics, but it's just got nice music. It's the Modern Family intro.
Yeah.
Hey. And it's just a little saxo.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a really different one, like because it's just got a sax in it. Like there's not a lot of theme songs with a saxophone in them.
Cowboy Bebop.
I'm not. Actually, do you know what I'm going to say is the best one? Only Fools and Horses.
Which one? Wasn't there 2?
Oh, there's only one.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, fair enough. I'm still gonna stick with King of Queens, to be honest.
I'm gonna go for Only Fools. I think that the Only Fools intro song is just so iconic.
Yeah, I can understand.
I put Friends up there. I was gonna pick Friends, but until I thought of Only Fools. But Yeah, no, I just like I like the Only Films. Like I could sing the Only Film. I could enjoy it more because of I could enjoy the song to Only Films more because Friends is such an overplayed one and it's such an obvious one. You know, I could enjoy the Only Films one a bit more.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from with that, but honestly, I feel like that isn't really a factor when it comes to these shows anymore. Because whenever I watch them, I'm going out of my way to watch them.
But the thing is, like, especially with Netflix, you can just skip intros nowadays.
Yeah.
Also, actually, honorable mention for the cartoon ones. This isn't a song, but it's an iconic intro nonetheless.
Yeah.
Earth, water, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations, they never did change when the fire did that. Oh, the Avatar, master of all four elements, could save us. But when the world needed him most, he vanished. A few years went by, and my brother and I discovered a new Avatar, an airbender named Aang. Shit.
And what is that? With TNT.
While his airbending skills are great, he's got a lot to learn before he's ready to save anyone. But I believe Aang can save the world.
Yeah, no, that is definitely a good shout, honestly.
I still remember the majority of that off the bat.
Congratulations.
I did watch it like 2 weeks ago. Still, like, I skipped the intro 9 times out of 10. I think I'd watch it once a day just to keep it in my head.
I'm over 50 episodes into Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've not skipped the intro once.
It's iconic.
I've skipped the recap. I've skipped the recap, but I'll skip the recap to the opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can't not.
While I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Right, the one thing I hated about rewatching it, I've rewatched it twice. I watched it when I was a kid. I watched it when I was in TY then. I watched it over the course of the year. Like, I didn't sit down and watch it for a month. I watched... It was just on my watch list on Netflix. And I'd watch, like, the odd episode every, like, 2 or 3 days. Like, I wasn't, like, watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Properly. Like, you know, I was just, like... I might go, like, 2 weeks without watching an episode, like, you know. It was one of the things that just, like, when I'm having me dinner by myself, like, you know. Or, like, I was just passing a bit of time on the bus. And it's just... There's so many subplots that it's annoying. Do you ever get, like... They're in the middle of, like, a big final duel, and then all of a sudden it goes off for 4 episodes and does something completely different, and then comes back to the duel for two episodes at the end.
Yeah, a little bit, but I haven't really gotten that far into it. Not that I've, like, noticed outright. I just finished the fight with Pegasus.
It's solid enough on that, but it's the next one, the Duel Monster. It's the one when the gold cards come in. What's that season called again?
I know what one you're on about, but I don't know what the season is called.
The Battlefield Games or something like that, or the tournament that Seto Kaiba sets up and the gold cards come into it. The final 20 episodes of that, or the final 15 at least, are all Yugi versus your man in Team Body, and then, like, in the middle of the duel, like 4 moves in, they just drift off and go into a completely new story and go into a new world for like 10 episodes and then finish the duel in 4 episodes.
Is it with Joey?
No, I don't think Joey's... Like, I think his spirit's been captured or something by that stage.
Oh, well then what's the point? No one likes Tristan. Why do people keep trying to force Tristan down the throat?
They done it with all of them. Like, Yugi was in it, Tristan was in it, Kaiba was in it, no, Joey wasn't in it, Teo was in it. And they'd, like, all go off and, like, they play... Do you remember the game? There was that game that, you know, other man set up, the Dungeons and Dragons joke with the Dungeon Dice or something. Yeah. There was that whole thing with him, and then they'd start playing that, and then they'd go to a different world, and, like, they'd have to... I don't know. As much as I loved the show, I thought that was as big as the downfall. That was actually... It was way too long.
Well, yeah, but that's just the case with most things in general, because, like, they need to fill out space-time for the manga to go ahead a little bit. Usually there's places where you can avoid those like lists online, and then for One Piece, for example, there's so much filler that a group of people formed a team where it's actually the best way to watch One Piece, where you can go through this list of re-edited episodes, so it cuts out all the filler, and it actually cuts the entire runtime in like half. So from like over nearly 1,000 episodes, it's still a lot, but like down to like 500, and then there's like specials that shorten it down even further. You could realistically catch up to One Piece. You'd be missing a lot of information, but you could realistically catch up in like 2 weeks.
It's like the people who like want to watch the MCU now, and you just give them the list of like the 6 films that are really important to watch. And it's like you could watch Endgame and get a cry out of it if you just watch these films and understand the background. Really, really understand it. You should watch all 22 films.
Maybe not the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, yeah. Incredible Hulk's kind of like, at least like Spider-Man is still relevant. You know, even though it's the Sony thing. And it's the same. Like Thor: The Dark World. Like
Yeah.
at least like one of the best films. At least they're still like kind of relevant with the Reality Stone. You know.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever cross over? Could you imagine if they use this whole multiverse theory, and then they somehow get a Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield?
I think that'd be funny as fuck.
I think it'd be great.
But you know what? Like one of my favorite films ever, and I think it's one of the best superhero films ever made, is Into the Spider-Verse. I think it's absolutely brilliant. The soundtrack to it is fucking great.
No, it was like when the movie came out, I literally just went straight to the soundtrack because I heard some of the features that were going to be on it, so I went straight to the soundtrack on Spotify, and it's one of the greatest listens I could have done that day, honestly.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy also has a fantastic track, but I think that's half of Guardians of the Galaxy. People know it from the soundtrack.
Yeah, to be honest, a soundtrack can carry a movie very heavily.
And I've got a pretty controversial opinion actually now. So I actually like Guardians 2 more than I like Guardians 1. Both fantastic films, but I think Guardians 2 is a bit. I personally like it a bit more.
To be honest, I didn't even know that was considered a hot take. I thought they were both held up.
A lot of people consider Guardians 2 a bit trash, or they consider the story a bit weak.
Well, sometimes it's not even about... Obviously, a story is very important, but sometimes it's not even about the story. It's about the experience and, like, the journey through it. Obviously...
It's just mainly world building.
Yeah, like...
For the MCU, and so it's... Like, Thor Ragnarok does it a lot better. Thor Ragnarok's one of the best MCU films.
Oh, I 100% agree.
It builds the world. And it's the same with Thor: The Dark World. Like, it gets a lot of shit, and, like, yeah, it probably is. I actually think The Incredible Hulk was better than it. But I didn't dislike the film. I wasn't like on that. I was like, I'll probably watch this again.
You want to bet the first Thor film or the second one?
Yeah, I think it was good, but it was all right. It wasn't bad. It was just it was trying to build the world up a bit too much. It took on more than it could really.
Yeah,
and it was still, the MCU didn't know where it was really going. Like they knew it was going to be Thanos, but they didn't know how they were going to get to Thanos. Like it was in the midst of is it
why is Thanos the big bad?
He's the big purple daddy.
Well, do you know who else is an even bigger purple daddy? Galactus. With 22 movies of build up, I'd expect something like Galactus, to be honest.
The thing is, they don't want to stop at 22. They're going to make another 22 films. So that's going to be Galactus.
How are they going to squeeze 22 films now? What are they going to...
Well, like Thor 4 is going to come out. They need to make Ant-Man 3. Guardian 3 is on the way. You know, Black Widow's coming out. Spider-Man's doing another film. They're going to bring in more characters. There's already a lot more. Doctor Strange is due 2 more films. He already has Madness in the Multiverse or whatever coming out, and he still has to get a 3rd film then. He's actually one of my favourite characters in the MCU. I think he's pretty underrated.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah. I love that.
No, definitely. I really like what he was doing in Endgame. So, oh my god, this is like the longest podcast I've done by a
We're going 2 hours now, we're going 2 hours.
Yeah, nearly, yeah. We're like 10 minutes off 2 hours.
I wasn't sure if we started at half or 20 past.
Yeah, we started at half, but I'm genuinely proper thankful you came on for sure, because
thank you for having me, you know.
I'm putting up with my neighbours and my siblings and all that.
Jesus, thank you for putting up my dog barking in the background at one stage and my singing of songs that you did not ask for.
You know, I really appreciate the covers because it's nice blooper material.
Excuse me, that's the main show, alright?
It could be the main show, but it would be the main show when it's on video.
Yes.
just have exclusive performances from Shaun Finn, the Yu-Gi-Oh theme. I'll just upload 20 videos to my channel.
I'll be like, it'll be like 10 years down the line. I'll be like playing somewhere like relatively big, and I'll be like, oh, scandal! He ripped off Yu-Gi-Oh when he was 20.
Ah, how dare he! On the biggest podcast in Uzbekistan. I don't even know what I'm on about anymore.
But yeah, it's fun, like, you know.
Yeah, no, it's been great having you on. You were planning on performing your song?
Was like, no.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I've already given you about 3 performances, haven't I now? So.
Yeah. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. I'll just shout out the tune, or even an announcement to make. I'll mute me mic and let you go. You just say what you need to say.
PM.
What?
Crumbling, and it's going to go on set.
Wait, no, you completely lagged out. You're not coming through properly.
Right, coming through?
Wait, you're coming through somewhat well. I'm gonna mute my microphone real quick.
Okay. So, bit of an early exclusive announcement. I'm going to release the song on SoundCloud this Friday at 6 p.m. Not going to do it like midnight like most artists, because, you know, I like to be a bit. I've got like a bit of a rep for releasing songs at weird times. Like my first song came out at like 3 a.m. on a Saturday morning. Like, you know, and my last song, Touch, which was played at the start. Keith was very kind to play at the start of the video, as a podcast even. I brought that out at like 6 p.m. on a Monday evening, like not a usual like launch time. So I'd like to keep it a bit different, you know. But yeah, the song is called Crumbling, and it's about biscuits. So I'll start. That's kept me in Gradually blue in the dark. You know I'm scared of the night, and I don't cope well alone. Remember you when you said you'd be by my side. I'm struggling to sleep at night. I'm struggling just to get out of bed because of the thoughts in my own head. But now I know it's not my fault, it's your fault for never having care. But you never fall into silly situations, just lying there and all the cares in my head. You don't try to reach out for me, and all I do is reach out for you. I'm trying to phone you all that day. My life is crumbling, it's being taken away. I'm better off talking to a stranger who I found won't ever eventually care. Remember you when you said you'd be by my side. I'm struggling to sleep at night. I'm struggling just to get out of bed because of the thoughts in my own head. But now I know, but I don't really know if you want to know my name. But you never wrong in silly situations. You're just lying there and all the cares in my head. You don't try to reach out for me, and all I do is reach out for you. I'm trying for you all damn day. My life is crumbling as being taken away. But you never wrong in these silly situations. You're just lying there for all the years and my bed. You don't try to reach out for me. I'm trying for you all damn day. My life is crumbling to be taken away.
Woo!
Yep.
Amazing
So,
performance.
Thank you. That was actually, I actually really thought that was alright.
Yeah, no, that was a brilliant
I'll try to
performance.
Thank you. I've been trying to record it all week, and I just I keep messing up one small part each time, and that was actually alright. So
Oh, hey, you had that little backup plan over Discord.
yeah,
At the end of
like
the
whatever you
2
said,
hour
go to
podcast.
Discord. Sign up for Discord there, and just look up this podcast.
Yeah. Well, this goes on YouTube.
I'm not going to release the song. Just go to the end of that podcast, and there it is.
Yeah.
That's it. Tough tits.
I'm not gonna even cut it down for a separate video. No, it's staying at the end. And that is
Nice. Thank you. Right.
Thank you so much for joining me on.
Oh yes, thank you for having me, man. Really,
No
really
problem.
fun.
I
Love
would
to-
say dose of debate. We did debate a good bit, but this is like a mix between both parts. So this is just keep it zen.
It was a big Adam interview,
Yeah.
which is perfect.
Yeah, it was perfect for me too. I think I might go with that from now on. We're still workshopping it. You've just improved this podcast greatly.
Well, I have just graced you with my godliness, I guess, haven't I? Or my greatness.
Absolutely. Final moments. What you want to shout out?
So I should probably give a massive shout out to the people. I'll mention the people that I already mentioned. This again, if you made it to the end. Listen to Lucy Blue, who is absolutely amazing. Look her up on Spotify. Have a look at the cover she just done on Instagram. It's really, really good. My mate Emily 7. Big shout out to them. I'm single.
There we go.
Shout out to Francie Conway, who's giving me a big boost and giving me the confidence to start writing songs properly and writing good songs, not just shite. And shout out to my granda, because my granda's the man.
All their links, I'm not sure about his granddad, but all their links will be in the description below. Just an aside.
I got the fans will be in the description.
Yeah. Oh God.
Time to capture OTs at work.
Oh God. Yeah.
And if you sorry.
Thank you so much for joining me. This has been Keep It Zen. See you soon.
Slow the fall. Rock and roll.
And stay inside.